U.S. credit card default rates now at 2010 levels? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Thanks for checking in today. Before we get started, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. Tricky times indeed, isn't it? Wow, welcome to the brave new world. The reality is this, that we wouldn't be sitting here today, not for the crisis. Not for the crisis, we're not talking. We overheated the biggest asset class on planet Earth, the U.S. housing market, overnight appreciation to never seen before highs. And that always comes with some percentage of crash risk. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. And that's what really kind of bothered me with my industry as a real estate agent myself. I own real estate, operate real estate, took a haircut in the last 2008 crash. I couldn't just sit back and, oh, this time is normal, this time is different, loan strength is better, it's a good time to buy, is it, date the rate, marry that, all the BS I heard at the rah-rah cheerleading meetings. I'm like, no, I'm willing to protect my clients and put their needs before my own. I'm not going to walk somebody off a cliff if I see a cliff in front of them. And I have to at least be transparent, let them know that there's risk involved right now. We exhibited a bubble behavior. And anytime the market exhibits a bubble behavior, it comes with some percentage of crash risk. And that's why you lost respect for a bunch of agents out there, because I can't tell you how many agents said, I'm like, how much crash risk do you put on? Zero crash risk here. You want to buy a house? I mean, and they all went out and got under new debt themselves based on euphoric stimulated income. And now that stimulated income is gone. How do we know that? You ask. Well, I'm about to tell you, because credit card defaults are at 2010 levels. The last, you know what was happening in 2010? That was when we were in the eye of the storm of the global financial crisis. The biggest bubble to date that we can pull from, that we've had until this bubble came and eclipsed it. And that's the scary part, friends. I always said, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Bigger bubble equals what? Hey, you guessed it. Bigger blowback. So, I mean, everything that it's the perfect storm, right? U.S. debt at an all-time high. U.S. savings rate now at an all-time low. People have exhausted their savings account and they're leaning on what to bridge the gap? You guessed it, credit card debt. And now credit card defaults, not even debt. Well, debt too. The U.S. credit card debt's at an all-time never seen before high. So we broke a wrong record there. But now we're breaking another record that we really don't want to see, because this is going to eventually enter to the housing market. People can't pay their credit card bills anymore. So now the default rate on credit cards is at 2010 levels. Now, let me tell you, friends, I lived through the 2010, and it was not all rainbows and sunshine. In fact, all you saw out of mainstream media was the recession. Now we're just sidetracked by social, political, and economical news stories, right? And now, because of mass media where it's at, it's blind. People's heads are spinning right now. They can't keep up with it. It's too much information. And because this became a casino climate, everybody thought they were some armchair investor. I just invested on Webull and Robinhood and cryptos and this, and I own that. Listen, friends, I'm just going to tell it to you right now. Tangible assets. Digits on a screen are dangerous. Do we all have it? Some there? Yes. Do I have more than I'm probably comfortable with? Yes. But I have tangible assets. Most of my wealth sits in real estate, where 95% of all millionaires made their money. I want you to become rich in real estate. The only way for me to become rich in real estate is to make you rich. And that's why I have always said, and that's why most of you tune in today. You want an agent in better shape than their clients. One that is not relying purely on commissions to pay their bills. No, that is not your agent. You get with me. You need a good agent, you get with me. And I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to talk to you. I always say I'm part therapist, part sales guy. I'm going to ask you hard to ask questions, but you'll feel comfortable asking. Why? Because it's your financial future that depends on it. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Insanity. Listen, friends, this might be the last opportunity for you to own real estate. If there's a crash, you might not be able to weather that storm, or you're going to be so scared, caught up in reverse FOMO, a deer in the headlights, you'll be afraid to buy a candy bar, much less a house. You won't even want to go out for ice cream. Your discretionary spending will have you so afraid. That's what people do. I've always said, the psychology of people, the psychology of sales, trained in both. What do people do when they hear the whisper of recession? Even if they're financially fit, they recess too. Those are the waters we're now swimming in. So listen, affordable rentals, you don't need a lot, a handful. Start, if it's your first home, great. We'll start with your first home. If it's your primary home, it's not a rental, Scott. I just want my friend, we just want to live next, I don't want to be a landlord. Okay, then let me at least do this for you. Let me make sure your cost to carry this property is within its rent range. So if you ever want to upgrade houses, you can keep this one. You don't have to sell it to do it. You can put a renter in there and it cash flows every single month. Would you like that? Well, that sounds kind of good, I guess. But would you help me manage it, Scott? Yes, I'll help you. I will help you. That's what I do. I love real estate. Love it. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, which allows me to come give these messages. Now, the reality is this. I use this topic because it's a warning sign. And I've said this, we got to keep our thumb on the pulse, read between the lines and look between the cracks of things that we can that are basically saying crash risk or no crash risk. Now you tell me in the comments below, if credit card default rates are now at 2010 levels, which was the global financial crisis, the Great Recession, in the actual eye of the storm of it, when the cat was out of the bag, the jig was up, mainstream media was reporting all about the recession and unemployment rates and housing foreclosures. But we're seeing this now. Now, while all these categories are now spiking, they're not at the levels yet that would basically usher in another recession or a 2008 alarm being sounded. But it should, right? Because we know what happens. This is the tail in the tape. This is the tail in the tape. When you stop paying your credit cards, the next thing you're going to stop paying is your car payment. Next thing after that is going to be your house payment. Next thing you're going to have is foreclosures. Then you're going to have government intervention in the form of whatever they can do to implement what they can to save the housing market. Why you ask? Of course, I'm going to tell you, because if we lose the U.S. housing market, we lose everything. We're thrusted into a recession. And this will have bigger global ripple effects than 2008 because more foreign investors poured into this market. How do I know that? You ask, of course, I'm going to tell you because I'm a real estate agent. I can't tell you how many times I had just regular people competing with Wall Street to buy a house. This thing is teetering on the razor's edge. We could have another financial collapse. Now, this is why the point I wanted to make. I'm using, like I said, the credit card debt to just as a warning sign. But this is much bigger than credit card debt is spiking. Okay, have a nice day. No, we have to look at the health and the fitness of the American public. It's been compromised. We have the rental market, rents coming down, U.S. debt going up, saving rate going down, every car loan default spiking, credit card use spiking, everything spiking. The last thing to go will be the house. And here's the thing. So then what's going to happen is government intervention. They're going to step in and try to prop up the housing market, which they're doing right now. We're forced to introduce the 50-year mortgage. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. But I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen with the 50-year mortgage is it's going to temporarily prop up the market. It'll save it off for a while. But when you don't have as many people now that can qualify like they did during stimulus for loans, you're not going to be writing as many 50-year mortgages as you saw. So if an agent tells you, the 50-year mortgage is going to save the housing market, buyers are coming back and we're going to drop rates, it's not. And here's why. Because during the crisis, everybody had excess cash. Anybody with a pulse, just like in 2008, could qualify for a loan. And that's exactly what they went out and did. And now the default rates are spiking. The writing's on the wall. So my job is to let you know, listen, I'm a real estate agent. I love real estate and I love you. And I want to protect you. And I want you to own real estate, but I also want you to minimize risk. I also want you to minimize financial exposure. I don't want you to become house poor. The second I sell you a house, that you don't own it. It owns you, especially if you can't even rent it out for its payment. And millions of people did exactly that. And now they're leaning on their credit cards to try to keep up with their bills. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy. I want to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Credit card use and defaults. Welcome to the swimming pool. The writing's on the wall. Another warning sign for us that are monitoring the health and the fitness of the U.S. economy. Listen, friends, unless you've lived through a boom bust cycle, as a bill-paying adult and suffered its blowback. You don't know, you're hearing these things, but you don't really grasp the severity and the magnitude. You don't have firsthand experience. There's a lot of armchair economists out there, kids really, that have maybe lived through that, but not as a bill-paying adult. They were still living at home. And now many of them are moving back home to live with mom and dad again because they can't afford to buy homes. That's what they do know. But student loan debt, credit card debt, savings rate, everything is breaking all the wrong records. And when I see credit card defaults now, basically at 2010 levels, when we were in the eye of the storm of the global financial crisis, and we're not even getting similar headlines yet, can you imagine what's coming down the pipe? Correction, which we're in now, recession like we had in 2008, or a deep cycle recession, a depressionary level of a downturn like none of us have seen, the 1929 stock market crash. How confident are you in these markets, in this economy being able to sustain itself? Now, unlike 2008, when it was all economically charged, this is politically, socially, and economically charged. The perfect storm, the three-headed monster that's out of its cage, friends. Listen, real estate's the path to wealth. I'm here to help you. I want to see you achieve your dreams in real estate. I don't want you to base your self-worth on your house. You're not going to get rich owning your house. You're going to get rich owning other people's house. It's not as important to own where you live. It's just important to own. And that's why I'm going to be here to blow the lid off at every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, biggest network, top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you, it'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Or DM me over at ScottWaltersrealestate at Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.